Everyone has a plan for their best days. The plan assumes a version of you that slept 8 hours, woke up clear-eyed and motivated, and moved through the schedule like an athlete in a commercial. And that version of you does exist. You've met them. They show up maybe 40, 50 days a year. The problem is the other 300 days. The tired days. The heavy ones. The days after bad news, bad sleep, bad arguments. The days when the plan meets the actual human, and the actual human wants to go back to bed. Tonight is about those days. Because here's the secret that sorts almost everyone into one of two lives. Your best days were never the question. Anyone can be excellent on a good day. Motivated people are everywhere on Monday mornings in January. The entire game, the body, the craft, the business, the character, is decided by what you do on the days you don't feel like it. Show me your worst day behavior, and I'll tell you your future. Not because worst days matter more, but because there are so many more of them. Let's start by taking apart the belief that keeps most people home on tired days, the belief that feeling like it is a prerequisite for doing it. It sounds so reasonable. I'll train when I have energy, write when inspired, make the calls when I'm in the right headspace. But examine the actual dependency you've just created. You've made your output contingent on your internal weather, and internal weather is the least reliable system you own. It's driven by sleep, hormones, blood sugar, other people's moods, the news, the gray sky. Chaining your goals to it is chaining a train to a butterfly, and then wondering why the train never arrives. The people who build extraordinary things did not have better weather. Read their accounts, the athletes, the novelists, the founders. Their diaries are astonishingly unanimous. Most days they did not feel like it. The work got done anyway, because somewhere along the line they made a discovery that changes everything once it lands. Feelings are not a permission system. You can feel unmotivated and act. The two are not connected the way you think. The tiredness is real. The "so I can't" was always optional. And here's what science adds, a fact so useful it should be taught in schools. Motivation follows action far more reliably than it precedes it. You've been waiting to feel like it before starting, but the machinery mostly runs the other way. Start cold, flat, reluctant, and somewhere in the first 10 minutes, the engine warms. The body finds a rhythm. The brain, hating unfinished things, starts engaging with the task in front of it. Ask any runner about the runs they almost skipped. The first mile is laid, and then somewhere the run starts running itself, and those very runs, the almost skipped ones, are the ones they finish proudest of. Waiting for motivation before acting is standing at the fireplace demanding heat before you'll add wood. Action is the wood. Add it first. Feel later. Now let me tell you what showing up tired actually builds, because it's much more than the day's output. On your good days, the work builds the skill. On your worst days, the work builds something rarer, the identity. Think about what gets proven when you train on the day you wanted to quit. Not much about fitness. One session is one session. What gets proven is a fact about you. I am someone whose commitments survive my moods. That fact, once established, is load-bearing for your entire life. It's the difference between a fair-weather structure and an all-weather one. An identity like that compounds strangely. The more evidence you stack, the less negotiation each new day requires. The chronic negotiator spends an hour every morning relitigating the plan against the feelings, exhausting, and the feelings usually win. The person with 100 worst day showings behind them doesn't negotiate anymore. It's simply what they do. Tired is how they sometimes feel. Showing up is who they are. Those live in different categories now, and the category separation, mood over here, action over there, is the quiet superpower under every consistent person you've ever admired. But and this matters enormously, showing up tired does not mean performing at full capacity tired. This is where the whole philosophy gets corrupted into something brittle. so draw the line carefully. The commitment is to show up, not to hit personal records. Enter the smart practitioner's secret, the minimum viable day. The runner's worst day version is a slow 20 minutes. The writer's is one bad paragraph. The entrepreneur's is 3 emails. On heavy days, you don't cancel the appointment with your goals, you shorten it. This solves the exact failure that kills most streaks. The all-or-nothing person, unable to do the full session, does 0, and zeros are the true killers, because a 0 doesn't just cost the day, it breaks the thread of identity, and broken threads invite more zeros. The tribe of the consistent has a rule worth tattooing somewhere: never 0 and never miss twice. A 30% day maintains the thread at full strength, because the thread was never made of output. It was made of showing up. Let me also honor the real limits, because do it tired without wisdom becomes a grinder's disease. There is tired and there is depleted, and they require opposite responses. Ordinary tired, didn't sleep great, low mood, gray day, don't feel like it, that's the weather this speech is about, and the answer is show up anyway, usually at minimum viable scale, and let the action generate the energy. But genuine depletion, illness, injury, the specific hollow exhaustion of true burnout or grief, is different terrain, and pushing through it isn't heroism, it's compounding damage, and rest is the disciplined choice. How do you tell them apart? Here's a test that rarely fails, the 10-minute trial. Start gently and give it 10 honest minutes. Ordinary tired almost always lifts, the engine warms, and you'll be glad you came. True depletion gets louder, the body says no with increasing clarity. Trust the trial. It converts an impossible judgment call made from bed, where everything feels like depletion, into an easy one made in motion. And notice its cunning, the trial itself requires showing up. Even the decision to rest gets made from inside the arena, not from under the covers. That single design keeps the rest honest and the excuses starved. There's a last dimension to this, quieter and bigger than goals. Worst day reliability is also who you are for other people. Everyone is wonderful at their best. The friend who celebrates at your wedding is lovely. The one who shows up tired at a bad hour on your worst night, that's the friendship. The parent patient on a full tank is standard, patient on fumes is love. Every meaningful role you hold, partner, parent, teammate, leader, is ultimately graded on the same curve as your goals, not by your peaks but by your baseline. When you train yourself to show up tired for your own life, you're simultaneously becoming someone who can show up tired for the people in it. Same muscle. It might be the most important thing the muscle is for. So here's tomorrow. Some morning very soon, maybe the next one, you're going to wake up into a gray, heavy 300 club day. The bed will make its argument, and it's a good argument, it always is. The feelings will file their report, not today. And right there in that ordinary, invisible, utterly decisive moment, you'll stand at the fork this whole speech has been about. Most people believe their life is shaped in the big moments, the launches, the finals, the dramatic crossroads. Where isn't? It's shaped right there in the gray morning, in the tiny war nobody will ever see or applaud, between how you feel and what you do. Win that one. Not gloriously, there's no glory available at 6:40 a.m. In bad weather. When it's small, feet on floor. Shoes on. 10-minute trial. Minimum viable day if that's what's true. And as you do the flat, unremarkable, reluctant version of the work, understand what's actually happening. You are building the only kind of person whose dreams stand a chance, the all-weather kind. Because dreams don't get built by the person you are at your best. There aren't enough of those days. Dreams get built by the person you are at your worst. So build that person, starting on the very next gray morning. Do it tired. Do it heavy. Do it anyway. The good days will take care of themselves. They always did. It's the other 300 that are asking who you are, and now you know the answer.